I think the perfect dessert for winter is a crostata. And crostata comes from the Latin, meaning crust, crusta. So we're going to make a jam tart today. That's what a crostata is, a two-crusted jam tart. And to do it, we have to make a pastry crust. So here's my secret for doing that. You want to start out with something that's nice, buttery, and flaky. So I'm going to start with some almonds, about a half a cup of almonds in a food processor. And you want to process them until they're fine, but they still have a little bit of texture to them. Now that looks good. So now I'm going to add about a cup and a quarter of unbleached all-purpose flour and about a teaspoon of salt. That's going to give color and flavor to the pastry dough. Some sugar, about a quarter of a cup of sugar goes in. And I like to add a little bit of this. This is something called almond powder. You can find this in grocery store or pastry shop. So almond powder, if you're not using that, you could use almond flavoring. You could use almond extract. And I'm going to add the zest of 1 lemon. So all of that goes in. And now I'm just going to give that a few pulses, because now we have to do the critical thing. Okay, that looks good. Now the next thing we have to do is add the butter, the burro, as they say. And for that, you want to use unsalted butter. All butter in Italy is unsalted. And I like to freeze the butter. So we need a stick of butter. Why am I freezing it? Because I can grate it. And by grating it, it will be absorbed into the flour much more readily, and you won't have to overwork the flour so much. So you freeze your butter, and then you just get out your cheese grater, you see, and you start grating the butter on your cheese grater, and then you can use it directly in your recipe. So let me put that away, because I have my butter already frozen and grated, and I'm going to put it right into the bowl of my processor. So in that goes. Now, we want to give that a few more hits and just get this to a condition that we call mealy. So you want to pulse this. You still want to be able to see bits of butter in the pastry dough. So that's about enough. Now we need to add a little liquid to this, and that means eggs. So here we have 1 whole egg and 1 yolk. I'm going to beat that up slightly. And again, if you wanted to add some sort of extract to this, here's a little almond. You could add almond extract, vanilla extract. Don't add flavorings. Flavorings are mostly water. Extracts have alcohol in them. So now I'm going to add this through the feed tube and pulse this now until I have something that starts to come around that blade. Be careful of that blade. When you can take a bit of it and mush it in your hand, and it holds together like that, then you know you have enough. Then you cover that, you put it in the refrigerator for about an hour or so. And I already have one for you, so let me show you what happens next. And you want to get out your rolling pin. So you put that piece on the top, give yourself enough room, and get out a rolling pin. And now you want to roll this out, and then flip it right into the pan. And then you have to shimmy this off. Now, I can't impress upon you enough that the dough needs to be cold when you do this. This is the magic word when you're dealing with pastry dough. You have to have it cold. It's going to be a lot easier for you to roll. You put this right into the tart shell, just like so. I love jam tart. It's wonderful. It's wonderful for winter when you know fresh fruits are just not at their best. And the jam that you made up the summer before is, well, this is the thing that you're going to do. So you spread the jam evenly in the tart shell, just like that. So here is my second piece of dough. Get this out of the way. And now what we want to do is make some strips. So I use a pastry wheel, and you can just gauge this. You want them about, you can do them 1/2 to 1 inch wide, however you would like them. And you just make some strips to go over the top. You can do 3, 4, however many you would like. And now you want to lay strips across. Now you can make a woven pattern if you want by just taking a strip and doing that. See? And you keep weaving. Try not to get the marmalade everywhere. Or if you don't want to do that, you can simply take them and lay them across the top, just like that. So you have options of weaving or not weaving. Then when you get to the top, you just pinch this even with the rest of the edge of the pan. So you want to preheat your oven, and what I do is put this on a baking sheet to catch any drips, just like that. You can find this recipe on the Ciao Italia website. Isn't that gorgeous? A little window pane of dessert. And in it goes.